Hey, hey, hey. Got the model bumping, got the beat bumping. Everybody in here, and we know we jumping. Oh! No, I'm just playing, man. I'm just playing. Got the motto going right now. In case you didn't know, now you know. Nigga. Alright. Time to get to business, y'all. Y'all know what it is. Sports with B-Raj. Yeah, baby. And we're going to talk about tennis. We're talking about tennis. We are covering all bases of sports today. And today we're talking about tennis. And I'm going to start off with Novak. Oh, excuse me. Dang. Excuse me. Novak Djokovic. Number one player right now in tennis, the poll says, in the ATP, they have him as number one player. And I have to agree with that. Now, granted, he's young. Really not even young. I think right now, he's just coming into his prime. He's getting in his prime right now. It's starting in 2008 when he won his first grand title at Australia Open. And he's rolling right now. And when you think about it, nobody's really stopping him. Right now, I look at Djokovic and Nadal. You know, they're 1 and 2 as rivals right now. It used to be Federer. And before we can talk about Djokovic, we have to talk about Federer. In case you don't know, Federer has been balling this whole decade. 16 grand titles. 16 Grand Slam wins. Whatever, same thing. And he's 30 right now. He's getting old. He's really getting old, and he's slipping a little bit. He's not the same Roger Federer. He's not really intimidating anymore to other tennis players. When Federer and Djokovic would face off, Federer would always beat Djokovic. But now the tide's turning. The tide's turning. And before I can even talk more about Djokovic, we can't forget about Rafael Nadal. Rafael Nadal, I believe, 10 Grand Slam titles. 10 Grand Slam titles. Him and Federer will go at it. You see it every year. Every time at a Grand Slam event, it'll be Federer, Nadal going back and forth. Now, in the beginning, it'll be Federer. And then, as years went by, it's Nadal. This is how I look at it. This how you know how let's say you're the father, and the father set the standards, and the son comes and does better than his father, and then the grandson comes and does better than both of them. And that's the way I look at it. Federer started everything. Federer was at the top. Then Nadal came. He beat Federer. Nadal's on top. Djokovic came. Djokovic beat Nadal. Who's going to stop Djokovic right now? I don't know. Only time will tell. But Djokovic's at the top. He had to climb that ladder. If you get what I'm saying here. First was Federer. Second Nadal. Now it's Djokovic. He's not getting enough respect right now, I think. Tennis doesn't get publicized enough. Honestly, people think it's boring. Same as NASCAR, I think it's boring. Tennis is sweet. To me, tennis is a lot of mental. Same with golf. Golf and tennis are mental sports. Yes, it's physical. You need hand-eye coordination. You know, you can't be clumsy to play tennis. But it's all mental. It's about mentally tough. And that's in any sport as well. Now, what I want to talk about is some of these tennis players, they were good starting off early in the decade, and they just been slipping. Perhaps, right here, Andy Roddick. Andy, he only won 1 Grand Slam title, and that was in 2003 at the U.S. Open. And to me, it seemed like Andy, he's married. He was married in 2007, but he's been slipping, man. He's not really giving his all. Maybe he was like, to me, Andy's like, all right, man, there's no way I can compete with Federer, Djokovic, and Nadal. Let me just, try my best. To me, it seemed like Andy really never tried hard to be the best. it seemed like he never put the effort in to try to be the best he could be. Maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe he just can't keep up with the competition. Either way, Andy's not in Federer and Djokovic and Nadal's class. He's 31 ranked right now. And he was ranked number 1. 2003. 2003 was his prime year. And ever since 2003, he's been slipping. So I don't know, Andy. Are you done here, or I don't know. Another person I want to talk about, Andy Murray. Out of England, London, England. I don't know, they have Great Britain. He's from Great Britain. I'm trying to do a British accent. Mate? No, that's Australian. Fuck it. I'm sorry. But he's 4th right now. Andy Murray's 4th. He hasn't won any Grand Slam titles at all his whole career. He has 22 career titles, but he hasn't won a Grand Slam title. And he's hitting his stride. But once again, he what are you going to do when you got Djokovic and Nadal to think about? Federer, I think it's easier to beat Federer now. It's easier to beat Federer. He doesn't have that intimidation factor. But Djokovic and Nadal is the top of their game. What do you expect to do about that? His last win, 2008. He'll get to the semifinals, but he won't get to the finals of the big boys. And on to the women's tennis. Number 1 right now, we have Victoria. I'm going to try to get this right. Victoria Azarenka. Number 1. Really beautiful, by the way. Just throwing it out there. Blonde hair, blue eyes. Hey, white girl. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, and behind that, we got Maria Sharapova. Sharapova, she had to get surgery, took a year off for tennis. She's getting her groove back. For her being number 2, coming off surgery, I give her props for that. And the one title she came close winning, she lost in the finals. But for Sharapova, I give her props. And of course, we can't talk about women's tennis if we're not talking about Serena Williams. She's ranked 11th right now. She's definitely not the same player she was earlier in the decade. Definitely not the same players. Age is getting up there. To me, you can only play tennis for so long. You can only make those cuts, those workouts. You can only do that for so long. To me, you start off really in tennis, you start off really young. You start when you're 13 years old, and you start playing the big boys when you're about a teenager, older teenager, 17, 16, 18. And you hit your primes when you're about your early 20s. And you start decreasing down in your 30s because your body's just aging. And to me, Serena will always be better than Venus. Serena is better than Venus. When they perform, Serena will always beat Venus. And I'm looking at the rankings right now. I don't see Venus in the top 50. She's hurt. Granted, she's hurt. I know. But Venus, she always had a good serve. Don't get me wrong. Venus' serve game is nice. But she doesn't have the other skills to complement her right now to play the big boys. And granted, it's age. I know it's age. But Venus is past her prime. Serena, I can't tell. Serena still got something left in the tank. But in a couple years, guys, the Serena and Venus dynasty is going to be over. And it's sad to think that time goes by that fast. It's just like yesterday, Serena and Venus. You know, every day on SportsCenter you see Serena and Venus. But that's my wrap up on tennis. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I'm more of a basketball, football guy. So I try to give some helpful insight on tennis. I try to do the best of my knowledge, you know, to see what I can do about the game, learn more about it. But all right, we're going to do some motto. We're going to head out of here. Let's do this. Hey. Deuces. Yeah.